Jody Sims, aka Jode Zero, is hosting another death race event on July 18th and 19th. A link to Jody's channel can be found in this video's description. For my entry in this year's event, I chose to start with a play-worn Matchbox Ruff Trek. The build started as usual with drilling out the post rivets and a complete disassembly. The first mod I made was to convert the casting's two tiny rear posts to a larger single rear post. While adding the rear post, I also used JB weld to fill in the holes in the wheel wells and the bed. This required removing the rear roll cage from the interior. I would also open the rear window with a bit of drilling and filing before going on to add primer and then the final coats of white paint. After selecting new wheels, I decided to modify the stance, so I raised the nose by attaching the front axle to the bottom of the base with JB weld. Since the Ruff Trek is based on a mid-70s Australian Holden HJ Ute, I decided to channel my inner Mad Max and borrow heavily from Max's car in the movie Mad Max 2, also known as the Road Warrior. My first Mad Max touch was to create a copy of the scoop and blower from his iconic car. The Super Chicken graphics for this car are a recreation of a package that was a dealer-installed option in the mid-70s. I had already created the decals for a previous build, so I used the spares for this build. The next Mad Max touch was to create the massive fuel tanks to go in the bed. I also 3D printed a pair of military-style gas cans from a file found on Thingiverse. These match those seen on the movie car. The finished fuel tanks and gas cans would be mounted in the bed to emulate those on Max's car. Some Thingiverse machine guns were 3D printed and added to the hood of the Ruff Trek. I wanted to add some bigger bash bar bumpers to the rear and front of my build, so I designed and 3D printed these as well. Another addition would be some 3D printed wheel hub blade-style spinners to protect the tires. Here's the original Ruff Trek before I began the build. And after adding some mesh to the windows and weathering the build, here's my finished Killer Chicken. Be sure to watch for this build to make its appearance in Death Race 2025 on Jody Sims' channel, July 18th. Thanks for watching. I hope you like this build.